Hello, hello! This past week it was my birthday, so I decided to take a little break from all these beautiful fall palettes that I've been reviewing recently and take a bit of a hard left. I took a trip back to California and I went to a fair called the Dickens Fair, and my outfit that I wore was red and black. So I really wanted a really deep, dark palette to accompany that. I really wanted to wear some silvers, so I decided to go with Beauty Bay's Dark Fantasy. This is a palette that I believe that came out at the end of last year, so like October 2022 is I think when this launched by Beauty Bay. This is the Beauty Bay brand. This is what the box looks like, and the box pretty much looks exactly like the palette. We've been seeing a lot of just very simple palette ends up looking almost exactly like what the box looks like. So there is some, you know, some shimmer and glare right there. There's nothing on the back, kind of giving us like a very matrixy paint look, grungy kind of thing. But let's open it up. There is a mirror in here. There's a really big mirror. You can see right there that there is a mirror. I'm just trying not to blind you guys, keep you guys in my thoughts. But this is what the palette looks like. It is so pretty. There's, I feel like, a lot of good, dark, I know the word grungy gets thrown out there a lot. But this is the palette that I used for my little mini vacation back home. And you can see a good amount of, it has enough in the color story where you can see some obvious colors that would go together. Like you have some greens up here and a gold, and your brain immediately goes like, oh, those go together. Where you have this line of, down here, you have like this more maroony looking color and some purples, and in your head you might be like, oh, those also go together. You got the metallics and the blues down here, your black and kind of like a gunmetal kind of color down here. You have your browns, the pink, like there's just enough in here to keep your intrigue, to keep you creative and inspired, while at the same time there's some very obvious looks you can immediately create. This palette was so fun, it was so pretty. I was a bit surprised, but overall I don't think I had any issues with this palette. There were only two, and I kind of redacted one, but I still want to talk about it. So like there's this blue down here called Source, and this over here is called Hardcore. It's a dark navy blue. It is dark, dark, dark. First of all, I found this color a bit difficult to use. It was kind of, it wasn't blurring out well. It wasn't blending out well. Even if I placed it on my eye, it wasn't doing the best. It was pretty patchy. I tried to rework it again in a second look with some purples up here, and after I did that, I feel like it looked a bit better, but overall I would say that this color was a bit more difficult to use. Maybe it's expert level. I'm not an expert, so maybe that's why, but I did want to mention that. I also wanted to touch on this blue one down here. This one down here is kind of giving me glam light vibes, as in it was like gel, like a squishy kind of jelly consistency and formula when touching it. Meanwhile, the rest of them worked very well. They were very beautiful, very amazing. But I've tried this one again, and I think it's just because it works more as a shimmer topper versus like an actual shimmer. The rest of the mattes, amazing as always. I think they worked very well. I think the best thing about Beauty Bay, their white eyeshadows work as white eyeshadows. I have another white in another palette, and it actually shows up as white. It's not just like a powdery, you know, something you put on your eye and it just disappears. Like this really will show up as white on your eye. And this is like the shimmer formula in here is why I totally fell in love with Beauty Bay. And when I see a Beauty Bay palette that I like, I try to get it because these are beautiful. You can see that black there has some shimmers. There were definitely some shimmers in here that maybe are a little bit wetter or a little bit drier, but overall they all worked so beautifully, and I cannot wait to swatch these for you. Wow. Before I even swatch, it's a yes for me. Absolutely. This is beautiful. I'm keeping it. I'm not changing it. I'm not updating it, which I've also learned from Beauty Bay palettes. Do not try to depan your Beauty Bay palettes. You'll just end up ruining your shades. I just learned that from if you've seen my short, I accidentally broke my yellow in the Bright 2.0 palette that I had, because I was trying to take it out so I could just keep that shade, but don't depan your Beauty Bay. I want to start off with the shimmers that surprised me the most. I'll swatch these two at the end, but I want to swatch the ones that kind of surprised me the most. And the ones that I wasn't expecting to like as much were applied differently, looked like a different color once I actually applied on my eye. I want to talk about Grime, which it was hard for me to describe this color. In the pan it looks like a gunmetal. I also want to do Nightmare. Nightmares probably has the driest formula for the shimmers in here, but it worked so beautifully. It was so pretty. And then, oh god, these are so also freaking gorgeous. I'll do Distortion. That was another one where I was like, oh my god, the swatch. So good. And then I'll do Encrypted. Oh, another pretty one where I feel like once applied on the eye, it looks different. So those are the 4 swatches right there. You guys aren't gonna believe this. This is, oh, okay, we'll start with Distortion. It's a purple kind of shimmer with a black base. Oh, that's one swipe. That is one swipe. Next, this is Nightmare. See if I can get it all in one swipe. I just love going back just to pat it down a bit. Oh, you guys, freaking pigment. This is Grime, which I accidentally touched my palm. And now you can see it on my palm. Look. Look at it, look at it. That is amazing. Oh, these are so pretty. Look at that. And then the last one is Encrypted. Bay Beauty shimmers are out of this world. They are gorgeous. They apply amazing, amazing, absolutely fucking beautiful. I have to say it. Just gorgeous. Oh my god. These are so beautiful. Lastly, just so you can see, I'm gonna swatch these 2 that I feel like I had the most trouble with. The rest of the mattes, they worked beautifully, they worked great, there was no issues. Maybe I'll do another matte just so you can see. So let's do Plasma. It's like, I love this kind of minty moss color. And then I'll do, here we go, here was Hardcore. This is a dark color, I don't want to use a lot. And then I'm going to use Source, which again is more of a shimmer, so we're not going to have the same effect. And I want to apply Source first, so you can see it kind of lined up. It's already stopped short. I mean, it's bright, but let me try and blend it out a bit more. It's definitely not as opaque as the other ones. It's there in person, I feel like. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit more. You can kind of still see my skin through the other side. It's a lot more sheer. So here's Hardcore. I mean, it's pigmented. But this is, I feel like it was a bit hard to blend out. But it's definitely, the color's definitely there. And here's this green. Very pretty. Overall, I really love the Beauty Bay formula, especially in terms of these shimmers. These shimmers are what I expect from this brand. These shimmers are probably some of my favorites, if not my favorites ever. Like, these are, if you love shimmer and sparkle and metallics, you have to try the Beauty Bay formula. I especially recommend this palette if you're into all these beautiful dark colors. When I look at these colors, I mean, yeah, I think of like, oh, Halloween because it's dark and spooky, yeah. But when I look at darker colors, I think of winter time, because in winter we like to wear, you know, more darker colors. You have your little, your pops of like some brighter colors in here. I like the mixture of, there's cooler tones, but there's also warmer tones, so that's also really nice. But this is definitely an amazing palette that I 100% recommend. I'm surprised more people didn't talk about it last year, but this is beautiful. The formula is wonderful. It's absolutely a yes for me. Thank you all so much. Y'all have a great day.